Well, I wrote it over, I guess, from 18 to 20, because the record came out right before I turned 21. So, I knew what I was going for as far as the type of impact I wanted to make. I thought I had my own lane creatively with the type of, material that I had. So I was just going for it, man. I knew that was going to be the biggest shot I was going to have to take. So I made sure everything was right and exact, from the cover to the order of the songs, the samples I used, the likability factor and the wow factor. Back then you could still shock people with words and such. So, I just did my thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. You had the Big Daddy Kane sample on the "Bitch Better Have My Money."
Yes, sir.
Was Kane Kane is like someone everybody likes. Was he someone that you grew up listening to?
Big Daddy Kane, of course.
Yeah.
I bought his first 12-inch. Bought his first 12-inch, I guess in 87. I said 90. 86, 87, Prism Records. To get into it. Damn, I just liked his name. I was like, Big Daddy Kane. Who is this? There wasn't even no videos back then for, most of the first singles that people came out with, especially in hip-hop. So, yeah. And throughout his whole thing. And the funny thing about the Bitch Bear My Money, I always liked that song because I'm a Nice and Smooth fan also, so that was one of my favorite records. And I kept going, nobody's going to use this great sample at the end. You know what I mean? That's Ant Lie. Rest in peace. The Bitch Better Have My Money. So I wrote a concept around it, finally came up with the beat for it, the track, and then I put it together. And the rest is hip-hop history.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Now, to rewind a little bit, before you said you were recording this album for a couple of years, from 18 to 20.
No. I was writing it.
Oh, you were writing it. Okay, yeah, my bad. So the concept was there. You just had to put it together. What were you doing at that time when you first started writing this? Were you already in Compton, or were you still in Ohio?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in Ohio. We moved to California when I was 15. So from 1985 till then, So basically, through high school, rapping with your friends, trying to have groups. L.A. is a serious place as far as music. Back then, our dream was to, my little crew we had, we was going to try to do a 12-inch and all that stuff. And the group disbanded. And since I'm an only child, I always liked groups, like brotherhood. So when I had to become a solo artist, basically, it was me and my DJ, rest in peace. We called him Modo. Back then, we were Spin and TK. And, just doing demos. Buddy from high school, uncle, big-time music producer named Wayne Henderson from the Crusaders. I called him for 8 months straight. He finally gave me a date to come in the studio. He liked what he heard. And then he started giving us slots. You guys in this weekend, and we go in there and work on our little demos and stuff like that. So I had, from dealing with Greedy Greg, we started on the 4-track, just home recording. Then I moved to a big studio, then back to the 4-track, the 8-track. And basically just making demos. Back then, the music producer, especially in hip-hop, you kind of had to do it yourself. So that's when I started jumping on the machines, started on the 808, Lynn drum, Lynn 9000, all the way up to the ST. And that's how I made the first record, just, sampling and finding grooves and knocking beats out. And, it's a process of, you making everything you can. Then you fine-tuning and all that type of stuff. You learning how to mix and EQ and all that shit. So the whole process was probably about 4 years long before any records came out. So like 16 through 20 was my working years of, leveling off with that.
And honing your craft, so to speak. When you first moved, when you first touched down,
10,000 hours.
Yeah, you gotta get your work in. When you first touched down in L.A., how did you adjust to that versus coming from the Midwest? Was it like a culture shock for you?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely a culture shock. A city of Los Angeles, multicultural, Latinos, Haitians, blacks, whites, Jews, Koreans, Thai, we got the whole mixture of everything, went to school with everybody. And I grew up in Inglewood, so Inglewood was a basically an upper middle class black city, but it still got the street elements. You know, we had the Forum, lot of black businesses, and you know, a lot of flavor, a lot of style. You know, going to school in L.A. from Ohio was totally different because, you know, when I came here, I was like in the 10th grade. It's like everybody was like a grown person. You know, I was coming from Ohio. I was playing sports and just, you know, nigga had a paper route and shit. Then you go to L.A., it's like, nigga, you ain't got no gold watch, or you ain't got this, or you ain't got that, you ain't got no Gucci belt. No, you know, it was more like young people, but we were all like 25 years old. So that made me grow up fast out here. And just seeing the street life, you know, the streets is real. Drug game was heavy. You know, we had ballers in class that could leave and answer their pages in school and shit. They were selling dope out of school. You know, it was just like some different shit for me. But, you know, you got to adapt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
most definitely.
Now, Inglewood, that did you know Mac 10 at the time? Because he's around the same age as you. Like, did you know him at school or anything, or run into him?
No. I think I'm a few years older than him, but I didn't know. You know, he wasn't Mac 10 back then. I wasn't AMG, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know,
the
guys I knew from that era, didn't nobody really make it. You know, it wasn't all that heavy like that. You know, they wasn't signing hip hop like that until the early '90s and shit, especially from LA. You know, we had our record deals come from New York City, so it wasn't even a whole bunch of people getting signed. It wasn't the whole California concept of hip hop yet. You know, they kept calling it gangster rap or West Coast rap. You know, trying to group you into some shit when it's all hip hop, especially if you're on the mic doing good. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
You know, one of my favorite songs off the album, of course, "B-tch Better Have My Money," but I always love "Vertical Joyride," man. That song, I mean, I've been smoking that song for almost 30 years now. Well, what's the deal with that song before we play it? Can you kind of break that down for us?
Vertical? Okay,
yeah.
A vertical joyride is when you get really high and you got some pussy right in front of your face. That's the vertical joyride.
Hell yeah, man!
And
I love
just explain it
too.
Oh yeah,
you know
that was Eazy's favorite song. Man, you flipped that worm, man. Yeah, he liked when I flipped the funky worm and shit. But yeah, man. Conceptually, that was during my whole smoking weed. My best friend Kev 304. He came up with the hit it, "Don't Babysit It," and I made the beat. And what happened was in the SB12 you only had so much sampling time and shit. So I got the first part of the worm off, right? And the reverse part, that wow at the end of it, I had to reverse it because it wasn't matching with the rest of the sample. It wasn't coming in on time. The beat was off. So I reversed it to make it go right back into the sequence. So that's how it turned out. But me and this nigga got so high and made the beat, we danced to the shit for like 3 hours before I even wrote a verse. It was just so much fun to listen to. We was loaded, bro. We was in my bedroom.
You guys were lost in the sauce, man. You guys were.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah,
on my
man.
balcony.
This is
in the middle of the day dancing.
Man, that record is timeless. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could drop that right now, and it's like time stood still. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of people talking about that record.
Yeah, they want to know how I could jump in my ear and walk through my mind. How did you write that? I said, nigga, I was high as fuck. That's how I was feeling. That's how good that shit was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed being creative, man, and coming up with stuff. That helps me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So something different. You didn't hear nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that whole album
that's why
man.
That's why I put it first. Let me tell you, the record company wanted my concept for my album. See, "B-tch Better Have My Money" took on a life of its own because everybody heard it but never seen it. Now, the album title was Vertical Joyride, the Vertical Joyride. The company, they were so geeked off "B-tch Better Have My Money," and they was like, well, let's just call the album "B-tch Better Have My Money." I'm like, no, you go fuck up my concept. You know what I mean? Of my record. That's how I had it with the jeans and shit, Vertical Joyride. They changed it to "B-tch Better Have My Money" and tried to keep selling "B-tch Better Have My Money" through the whole time I was trying to promote the rest of the records on the album. So it never got the full just due that it's supposed to get. So now I'm just the "B-tch Better Have My Money" man. That's what they did.
Yeah, because
They were
so much more to the album.
Yeah, they were being corporate when I was being creative.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I mean, when you listen to it as a whole, I mean, there's so many different sounds, styles, and the dope part about it was, anybody can get into it. You know what I'm saying? You could be from the East, the Midwest, the West, the South. That was a record I think that everybody loved.
Well, those were all my influences growing up. First and foremost, East Coast hip hop, then West Coast hip hop. So that's a combination. I come from the real MCs, the KRSs, and I didn't rap like AMG when I started. I was more of a battle rapper, or I was the extreme flow master and all that shit. Get my skills together, and then basically from being in LA and seeing all that stuff, they made records that were more. They were a lot of imagery involved. You know what I mean? Like it take you right to the place. You know what I mean? And give you the right visuals that you could hear. We working, with sonics and audio. So whatever's going in your ear got to be visual at the end of the day to make these records work. Same thing with like Tonight. Quick's Tonight. It tells the story. It puts you in the mood, puts you in the party, puts you right there where he is. So that helped. And then when we went on tour. While that Rich About My Money was brewing as a single, I got to hit all these towns. I got to be in, Houston. I got to be in Atlanta. I got to be in Detroit. I got to be in Minneapolis. So as I'm going through all this stuff, I'm picking up different flavors too. Like, okay, they like this type of shit. Okay, they like this type of shit. So I just went back home and matched up my tracks and tried to make them type of records that would appeal to those type of places too. So it'd be a whole little, little grab bag of something. Everything ain't for everybody.